So you may have heard the term earnest money before, and you're wondering what it is and if it's required in a real estate transaction. Hey all, I'm Ruth Howard. I'm a principal real estate broker. I work with my husband Frank, and together we help our clients with all of their real estate needs. Today, let's talk about earnest money. So earnest money is definitely something you will need to plan for when you're buying a house, and it can be used as part of an overall strategy in a highly competitive real estate market to get your offer accepted. So first, what is it? Earnest money is the money you pay as a show of good faith when you make an offer on a house. It's a deposit that works kind of like a credit. You're using some of the money you've already saved for your down payment to show the seller that you are committed and that you are serious about their house. Earnest money isn't an added expense, it's just kind of paying it forward. It's the deposit you as the buyer will make to the seller when you submit your offer. The deposit is typically held in trust by what we call a neutral third party, and it's usually one of our title partners. And it's intended to show the seller that you're serious and that you really want their house. So when you close, that money, that earnest money, will be applied to your down payment or your closing costs. An earnest money deposit is many times the very first check or outgoing money that you'll experience and write towards your purchase. So the amount can vary, and this is kind of where some strategy could come in. So the amount you deposit as earnest money will depend on factors like the current market. Is it a hot seller's market? Are they kind of in charge? Are you thinking there will be other offers besides yours? Are you going to make the earnest money non-refundable? But for the sake of planning, just expect that your earnest money deposit is going to need to be at least 1 to 2% of the total purchase price. So why is earnest money so important? Earnest money is the seller's assurance that you are committed to the transaction. So why is that? Why does it represent commitment? Well, it's because this is the amount that you could forfeit if you decide to back out of the contract for reasons that aren't acceptable within the sales contract. So this is where dollars matter. How much are you willing to commit? In a competitive market, if you only commit the bare minimum, maybe say that 1% we were talking about, and a competitor commits more, your offer might not be the one that's chosen. So while you're thinking about how much to commit, it's important to know that there are some off-ramps for you where the earnest money is refundable. For example, in the state of Oregon, a buyer's earnest money deposit is refundable during the inspection contingency period if they determine the house is unacceptable. Earnest money is also refundable if the buyer's financing falls through. So now you know what earnest money is and that it's an important part of the down payment. Now let's talk about the actual down payment. As you've been planning and saving for a home, your down payment has probably been top of mind, as it should be. And you might think that you'll be needing to set aside at least 20% of the home's purchase price to make that down payment. And that's a great goal. That could very well be true, but there could be other options out there for you. And the only way to know that for sure is to talk with a lender before you start your home search. Lenders will go over all the various loan types, down payment assistance programs, and what each one requires. Frank and I have trusted professionals that we work with as part of our team that we're happy to put you in touch with, and they can quickly and easily get you up and running and position you for success. Okay, so we've talked about earnest money and down payment. We're not done. The next thing to plan for is your closing costs. What? There's more? Closing costs, yes. So what are closing costs? They are the upfront fees charged in connection with a mortgage loan transaction. Some examples can be loan origination fee, title examination and insurance, appraisal and prepaid items, such as escrow, deposits for taxes, and insurance. And I know that sounds like a long laundry list, but that's what we're here for. Our team is here to help you understand and get prepared so that you can be successful. So now you know a home costs more than just the sale price. Closing costs make up about 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price, and they are major added expenses. The law requires lenders to provide what's called a closing disclosure at least 3 business days before closing on a mortgage. This closing disclosure, or CD as it's sometimes called, will detail all of the costs associated with your mortgage, but our lending partners can let you know well before that what your costs will be so that you can avoid sticker shock. The key takeaway is if you want to be a successful buyer in this market, you have to plan ahead for these expenses so that you can enter into this process prepared. So now you know the down payment isn't the only cost when you buy a home, and it's critical that you understand all of your expenses before diving in. The more prepared you are for your down payment, closing, and other costs, the smoother your home buying journey will be. Bottom line is knowing what to budget for in the home buying process is essential. To make sure you understand these and any other expenses that might come up, let's connect and get you prepared to buy a home. Thanks for watching, and I hope you find this helpful. You can catch some of our other informative videos on our channel, and I will see you next time.